Have you ever wondered how ancient wisdom and spirituality could play a role in our modern world? Welcome to the fascinating realm of Celtic Neopaganism, a spiritual movement that brings together the old and the new, the ancient and the contemporary. This intriguing path is a modern pagan movement that revives and reinterprets the rich tapestry of ancient Celtic religious practices for today's world. Celtic Neopaganism is not a single, uniform belief system. It is a vibrant tapestry woven with a variety of threads, each representing a unique interpretation of the ancient Celtic religion. Some of these threads include Celtic Reconstructionism, which meticulously uses historical sources and archaeology to recreate and understand ancient Celtic rituals and beliefs. Then there's Celtic Neo-Shamanism, which marries Celtic practices with shamanic traditions, creating a unique blend of spiritual wisdom. And let's not forget Celtic Wicca, which weaves together the threads of Celtic mythology and Wiccan traditions into a captivating spiritual path. Now, to fully understand this intriguing spiritual movement, we need to delve into its roots. So, where did Celtic Neopaganism originate? This spiritual movement finds its roots in the ancient Celtic religion, which had deeply influenced societies across Europe for centuries. Celtic Neopaganism, a modern interpretation of these ancient practices, didn't spring up overnight. It's a result of several centuries of evolution, adaptation, and reinterpretation. The ancient Celts didn't leave behind extensive written records of their religious practices. What we know about them comes from archaeological evidence and the writings of the Romans, who came into contact with the Celts during their conquests. These sources paint a picture of a rich, complex belief system that revered nature and the cycles of life. Over time, as Christianity spread across Europe, many of these ancient practices were absorbed into the new religion, while others were abandoned or went underground. However, the Celtic spirit persisted, and elements of the old religion continued to influence folklore and local customs. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a renewed interest in ancient Celtic culture began to emerge. Scholars and enthusiasts began to study the old texts, archaeological findings, and local traditions, seeking to understand and revive the ancient Celtic way of life. Language study and preservation play a crucial role in this movement. The ancient Celts spoke a variety of languages, including Gaelic, Welsh, and Breton, many of which are still spoken today. These languages are a rich source of mythology, poetry, and wisdom, offering insights into the Celtic worldview. Celtic Neopaganism is not a single, unified religion, but a diverse movement with many different paths. Some practitioners focus on historical accuracy, using archaeological evidence and ancient texts to guide their practices. This is known as Celtic Reconstructionism. Others blend Celtic elements with shamanic practices or Wiccan traditions, creating unique spiritual paths that honor the Celtic heritage while also embracing modern spiritual insights. With this foundation, Celtic Neopaganism has grown and evolved into what we see today. Now that we understand where Celtic Neopaganism comes from, what does it look like today? In the present day, Celtic Neopaganism is a vibrant spiritual path with a variety of branches. Each branch has its own unique focus and practices, yet all draw inspiration from the ancient Celtic heritage. Consider Celtic Reconstructionism, for instance. This branch focuses on historical accuracy, using sources and archaeological findings to shape its rituals and beliefs. The preservation of language is of paramount importance in this tradition. Its practitioners incorporate ritual elements into daily life, ensuring that their spiritual beliefs are not confined to specific rituals or ceremonies, but rather permeate their everyday existence. Then we have Celtic Wicca, a blend of Celtic mythology and Wiccan traditions. This branch is characterized by its celebration of the divine feminine and nature, drawing heavily from the mythological tales of the Celtic pantheon. It champions the seasonal cycle of life, death, and rebirth, mirroring the Wiccan wheel of the year. Here, the old gods and goddesses of the Celts are revered, their stories retold, and their wisdom sought in the pursuit of spiritual growth. Lastly, let's look at Celtic Neo-Shamanism, which combines Celtic elements with shamanic practices. This tradition is deeply rooted in the belief of an interconnected universe. Practitioners journey between worlds, seeking wisdom from spiritual entities and ancestors. They use various techniques for this purpose, such as drumming, dancing, and meditative practices. No matter the branch, all Celtic Neopagans share a profound respect for the natural world, seeing it as a source of wisdom and spiritual nourishment. They honor the ancient Celtic deities, celebrate the cycles of nature, and strive to live in harmony with the earth and all its creatures. As you can see, Ancient wisdom and modern practices intertwine in Celtic Neopaganism, creating a unique spiritual path. So, what have we learned about Celtic Neopaganism? We've delved into the rich tapestry of Celtic Neopaganism, a modern pagan movement deeply rooted in ancient Celtic religion. We've seen how it is not a monolith but rather a collection of distinct paths, each with its own unique focus and practices. We've explored the origins of Celtic Neopaganism, tracing it back to the ancient Celts while acknowledging its modern revival. We've learned about Celtic Reconstructionism, a branch committed to historical accuracy, using archaeology and historical sources to shape rituals and beliefs. We've also touched on the importance of language study and preservation within the movement, and how daily life incorporates ritual elements. We've discovered other branches like Celtic Neo-Shamanism, which marries Celtic elements with shamanic practices, and Celtic Wicca that blends Celtic mythology with Wiccan traditions. But above all, we've seen how Celtic Neopaganism draws inspiration from ancient Celtic heritage, offering a unique perspective on spirituality and culture. Whether you're exploring different spiritual paths or just curious about different cultures, understanding Celtic Neopaganism offers a unique perspective on how ancient wisdom can still guide us today.